I think that
Hmm.
when it comes to philosophy or just psychology in general, there are moments in life where you do get punched in the face, but and you end up either deeply connecting with a darker side, that you might have inside, right? Maybe someone
Mm.
betrays you, or you have a big problem, and instinctively, you might want to resort to. I'm talking about personal experiences as well, right? Like you might want to resort to
Hmm. Yep.
violence, or you are upset, or you're this. So I really like this duality that you're talking about, because I fundamentally think that I became a far better person. I don't know if that's true for you, but in terms of like just being kinder, more empathetic, doing charity work,
Hmm.
when I understood the
Hmm.
capabilities of being a very bad person that I had inside of me, and then just controlling and subduing those instincts for good things.
So this is not literal fighting, but the urge to the the skill of knowing when in Budokan we have a saying what is there's a time for the sit and there's a time for the sword. Okay, so there's a time where you just gotta let things be the way they are, and there's times when you gotta and you gotta do what you gotta do, and it's the ability to discern when it's time for one and when it's time for the other, but and having the ability and the willingness to do both. Some people can only do one. Some people can only fight, and some people can only sit. You have to be able to do both so that then you have choice. Because when you have choice, you have power. But if you're just doing the one thing that you know to do, then you're not in choice. You're just in pattern. You're just in a momentum, but you're not in power. Make sense? So for me, is I always tell people it's like everyone should have a black belt. Everyone in the world should be a black belt. Never there would be no fight. you know. So
No, I love it, and but I think I really also like the way that you're talking about that every day. You're fighting, and your company what wants to die, right? At least in the very very early days, which is usually when people like me partner with entrepreneurs. That's true, but I've had many other companies that I've invested in that have had near death experiences after they became multi-billion dollar businesses as well.
mhm, mhm.
So the it reminds me of ultimately like self-reliance, right?